Have you ever worked so hard for something that you completely lost yourself in the process? We live in a world that glorifies the grind. Hustle culture tells us that blood, sweat, and tears are the only currency for success. That if you're not suffering, you're not trying hard enough. So let me ask you something. What if that's wrong? What if the constant pressure to push harder, to do more, to be more, is actually the very thing sabotaging your greatest work? Over the years, I've sat across from some of the most successful people you could imagine. CEOs, surgeons, founders, high performers at the top of their fields. They did everything right. They outworked everyone in the room. They got the promotions, the money, the recognition. But at what cost? They were falling apart. Heart attacks in their 40s, chronic migraines, divorces, children who barely recognized them. On paper, they had it all. But in reality, they were exhausted, disconnected, and quietly miserable. So today I want to tell you about something different, a different idea, one that sounds almost dangerously simple, the art of effortless action. I'm going to show you that you can actually achieve more by letting go of your obsession with achievement. Problems arise when you place so much pressure on the outcome that you lose focus on the doing. You begin to link your self-worth entirely to the result. You tell yourself, if I don't make it, I'm a failure. And this mindset breeds constant anxiety. The journey becomes miserable because every minor setback feels like a catastrophic failure. When you are motivated solely by the finish line, you miss the joy of the race. I've worked with thousands of people trapped in this mindset, people who set such impossibly high goals that when life inevitably pushed back, they were completely overwhelmed. Some even went to the point of suicidal ideation. The finish line becomes a prison. Let me ask you a question. Is it possible to find freedom in doing things without necessarily focusing on achievement? And might we not, in the long run, achieve so much more when we apply the art of effortless action? The answer is yes. Consider Albert Einstein. You would agree with me that he was one of the most successful people in human history. Yet, when he was developing his theory of relativity and his work in quantum mechanics, he was not a famous academic seeking tenure. He was a patent clerk at an office known to nobody. Einstein wasn't driven by metrics or recognition, he was driven by curiosity. He wanted to answer the deepest mysteries of the universe simply because he loved the questions. No pressure, no audience, just pure, passionate engagement with the work itself. And that changed everything. Or think about Vincent van Gogh painting Starry Night. He wasn't thinking about critics or sales or what the world would think. He was in an asylum, painting to heal his own soul. He painted because he had to, not because he was chasing a result. He had no attachment to the outcome, and what came out of him was immortal. Today, that painting hangs in the Museum of Modern Art in New York. Millions of people stand before it every year, moved to their core. Neither of these men was optimizing for success. They were simply doing what they loved, fully and freely. And that's the paradox at the heart of effortless action. When you release the desperate grip on the outcome, you free yourself to do your greatest work. If you look at a list of people who have achieved monumental success in the eyes of the world, you often find that their personal lives are in shambles. When you only focus on the finish line, you risk losing everything else along the way. The art of effortless action asks you to redefine success. It invites us to find joy in the daily process rather than the distant reward. When you do things regardless of the consequences, simply because you love them, the pressure evaporates. Paradoxically, when the pressure is gone, you are able to produce your best work. By letting go of the need for a specific outcome, you free yourself to be truly creative, present, and alive.